About dating, there's something about summer that makes you feel romantic, apparently. Whether you're still in the hunt for the one, you found yourself facing life after divorce, or you're worried that your relationship's fizzling rather than sizzling, love is never easy. But don't worry, we've got someone here to help in our special Summer of Love clinic. Relationship expert and star of Married at First Sight, Paul Carrick Brunson. Welcome, Paul. Welcome, Paul. Do you think summer is more difficult to sort of, be single than winter time? You can kind of hide yourself away in winter. Summer's kind of like when you're supposed to be having fun.
You know what's wild about this is I feel like winter is called cuffing season.
Cuffing?
Right?
Cuffing?
Cuffing. You know cuffing?
No. No. But I'm agog to hear you explain it, Paul.
It's when you throw the handcuffs on. So winter is typically the time when most people become a pair. Oh. Summer is when most people decide to let it all go and be single.
Ooh.
Well, I've got,
I've got a question. It's different to here. Have you brought any handcuffs with you? And are you... I'm only joking.
No, you're not really, are you?
Actually, hold on for a second. Hold on.
OK, so my question is here, which I guess, personally, I know the answer. It's what about divorcees? Is it harder to find love generally later in life?
Yeah.
I was, and I did, so I'm very fortunate. But generally, do you think?
No, so I love when divorcees go back out on what's called the quote-unquote dating market. And the reason why is because so many have been not dating for 10, 15, 20 years. And because of that, they show up as more of their authentic self. The challenge is that when you've been single for 30, 40 years, and you're learning to play the games, and you're employing all these strategies, and you're not being your true self, those are the ones who actually have the hardest problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
OK. Can this is interesting, because there's several of my girlfriends who are older, and some of them would love to find a partner. Some now, of course, can't even bear the thought of it. There is a real split with my friends. But can older singletons learn anything from younger generations, when it comes to finding love?
Yeah. Well, one is I'd love to know what qualifies as older. You know, It's like, what is older?
Like Frankie.
Just kind of cracking on a bit.
I'm not even wearing a bra today.
Excuse me. I think we've noticed that. Thank you very much.
No. I'm looking like this the whole time. I was like this the whole time.
I was going to try and find Radio Luxembourg.
Why am I here? I will say this, is that there's a lot that we can learn from our younger generation, right? In particular, a lot of the research I've done shows that the younger generation does one thing that everyone else has not. And that is that the #1 determinant to a second date is typically based on them feeling authentic with the person that sits across from them. Whereas in Gen X, baby boomers, even millennials, the idea is that, you know what, I need to be physically attracted to you first before I'll go on a second date. Gen Z is the first generation to say, you know what, physical attraction is important, but what's more important is that I can be my authentic self with you. And I think that's a big lesson we can all take.
Wow, well, thankfully, we have a young person with us, Grace.
And that is me. I'm in a new relationship, right? What advice would you give to people that are in new relationships?
You know, I can see this is a serious relationship.
Because I've got a sparkle in my eye, can you see it?
You have a sparkle?
I've got a glow.
You've got a glow. And also, you got serious.
Tell them.
I could see. This is serious. This means something to you.
Yeah, that is my wife. Yeah.
Yeah, see? Look, I could see it.
Yeah, when did you move in with her? How long have you been together?
After the first date. Yeah, if you don't know, lesbians move quick, and that's fine. We've been together, like 5-ish months.
5-ish months?
Yeah, but I would say that's a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could feel a lifetime, but you want to know what's the secret to making it...
Yeah.
To making it work.
Absolutely.
You know, you have to determine what type of partner do you want to have, right? Some of us just want a friend.
God forbid.
Some of us want a friend and a sex partner. Some of us want a friend, a sex partner, and a co-parent. But the reason why I bring this up is because now there's so many different types of relationships we can have. Some people are happy living in a separate bedroom and just having a roommate that you make tea for every now and then, right? So you have to determine the type of relationship that you want and be vocal about it. That's very, very important. The higher your boundaries, the higher quality of life you will have.
Right.
Yes.
I'm going to go script too. Why should Denise get the only pleasure? But you say authentic. I hear this word authentic so often now in these kind of conversations. What do you really mean by that?
No, that's a great question. You know, I think with authenticity, it's about, can you be vulnerable? And vulnerable is can you be your true self? But in essence, all of the things that you believe are that you try to hide back, that you try to push down, do you feel like you can display them? And I always say it's so important to do that and find a partner who you can do that with, because all of these things that make us unique, these are actually our superpower. It's what makes us extraordinary, right? So you want to be able to find a partner that you can show your true self to. That is being vulnerable. That's being authentic.
God, right at the very beginning. You don't want to show your true self right at the very beginning.
Well, you said you didn't, though, did you?
You know what's interesting about that is Chris Rock always says that when you first meet someone, you meet their representative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then later on, you find out who they are.
Yeah.
But do you want to find out later on who they are? Or do you want to find out...
It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
Yeah.
You're trapped.
Yeah, God. So you were saying earlier on that, you know, winter's cuffing season and, you know, summer is when people want to be sort of single. How do you know if you're in a relationship that you might be heading to, like, the September split then? You're not going to be cuffing.
You know what's so interesting? So there's interesting research on this, too, that shows that typically the issues that we have in our first 3 days of our relationship...
3 days?
3 days
Yes.
that are not addressed end up being the reasons why we break up.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
Yes. So if you have issues, if you have quirks with your partner, don't hide it back because they're so fine. No. Instead, let them know. Be vocal. And that's how you respect yourself. That is what self-love is. That's what self-acceptance is. So that's how you know, is that you've gone through the first 3 days and you say, you know what? We're able to talk about these issues. If you're able to have a partner who will actively listen and you can talk to, that's a partner you can have for cuffing season.
Ooh. You talk a lot about talking to your partner and whatever, but you've just got a podcast, haven't you? A new podcast that's about talking to loved ones that aren't just your romantic partner.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this. The podcast is called We Need to Talk, right?
Yeah.
Right? So because we do need to talk. And I think that we're living in a lonely epidemic right now. We're living in a time where a lot of us are talking at each other, but not truly with each other in a meaningful way. And this is going to be a podcast where we handle all of the provocative, the tough topics around relationships with celebrities, with subject matter experts. And I'm so excited because I think it's going to help change lives.
Well, there you go. I've learned a lot. I surely have. Paul, listen, thank you very much.
It's been an
Paul
honor.
Carrick Brunson.